to our YouTube channel, English for Long Life. I'm Michelle and today we are here with our new video. And we will be coming up with the fifth important lesson under the basic parts of speech. If you've not yet watched our previous videos, don't worry, we've dropped down the links in the description box. You can go there, watch it and learn it. Further, if you need to get connected with English for Long Life, we do have Facebook and Instagram. What if you've not yet subscribed our YouTube channel? Please do subscribe it and show some love within the comment box. You could press on the subscribe button and don't forget to ring on the bell icon so that you would receive all the notifications with our latest videos. Now most of you might be confused or you might be wondering, what is this fifth important lesson? Well, it's the prepositions. Most of you confused in using the prepositions. You have a lot of confusions. Where to use, how to use prepositions which will give the right meaning, and what prepositions are. Well, if you watched our video until the end, I hope that you would get a clear idea regarding what preposition is and where to use this with the right meaning. So why should we waste time? Let's go and see what's new today. Welcome back to our classroom. So now let us discuss about our fifth important topic, which is the prepositions. So if someone asks you what is a preposition, how would you be able to define? Let's see. A preposition is a word used to link nouns, pronouns or phrases to other words within a sentence. So usually a preposition does, it links a noun, a pronoun or a phrase inside a sentence. So they act to connect people, objects, time and locations of a sentence. So the simpler meaning is given here. That means a preposition is used as a connector which connects people, objects, time, locations of a sentence. So under our discussion today, we will be talking about the prepositions of time. So there are many prepositions which denote about the time. So we will be talking about them. Further, we'll be discussing the prepositions of place. So there are certain prepositions in common which could be used as prepositions of time as well as prepositions of place. So in our discussion today, we will be giving a detailed introduction and an analysis of how these prepositions are used under time, place, and also we'll be discussing some other important preposition which is very important for our daily usage. Our first discussion will be based on prepositions of time. So prepositions of time, these are the words that help to indicate when something happened, happens or will happen in the future. So there are different kinds of prepositions of time. From that, the first one is on. On is used to indicate the days of weeks, such as on Monday, on Saturday, on Friday. So remember that we use on in front of a day of the week. The next one is in. In is used to indicate months, seasons, or even the time of the day, even the years, and after a certain time period. For example, in August. So remember, in front of a month, we use in. And also in front of a season, we use in. So if we need to indicate a time of the day, for example, in the morning, in the afternoon. So if you need to explain something regarding a year, we use this preposition of time in 2006. So in 2006, we had a World Trade Fair. So examples like that can be used. Even to indicate after a period, a certain time period, I will be meeting you in an hour. So if you need to talk about a particular time, you can even use in over there. The next one, or the next preposition of time is at. So at is used in front of weekends or a certain period of time, or if you need to talk about like for night, so let's meet at night. So in front of night, you don't say in night or on night, you say it's at night. And if you are going to mention the word weekend, remember to use the preposition of time at. It's like at the weekend. We have school at the weekend. So if you need to talk about a certain time or like the time period again, let's meet at 9:30. So if you're mentioning a particular time for a certain purpose, then there also you have to use at. The next one is since. Since is used from a certain point of time. That means from past up to now. If something is ongoing and it's been started in the past, then we can use the word since. For example, since 2004. She's been studying English since 2000. The next important preposition of time is for. So you use the word for over a certain period of time. That is also from past up to now. Like that is to mention with the number of years. She's been studying English for 3 years. So there you have to use the preposition for. Whereas in the earlier situation you have to use since if you're using the year exactly. That is, I've been learning English since 2000, and if you're mentioning the number of years, then you have to use the preposition for. Another important preposition is ago. So it is used to indicate a certain time in the past. 2 years ago, I met my friend. So that is something to talk about past. Before. The next important preposition of time is before. Earlier than a certain point of time. So if something's occurring before or a time that is earlier than a particular action again, you can use the preposition before. She has been to England before 2000. So that is also to mention about a past action and to show the consequent feature of an action to happen before. While the next important preposition of time is to. We use this commonly when telling time. It's 10 to 6 or 10 minutes to 6. Then you use this preposition to. There also you use it to denote a time. Now remember, all these prepositions are used to talk about time, right? So the next important one is past. When we tell time, we use it's 6:05. So there this word past is another preposition which is used to indicate the time. You can say 6:10 or 6:20. Right. The next important is to or till or until. You've been using them very frequently. So these are marking the beginning and the end of a period of time. So from Monday to Friday or from Monday till Friday, she's been talking to her friend on phone from 5 until 6. So these prepositions to, till and until is used to talk about a starting point and an ending point of a particular time or an action. The next important is again till and until in the sense of how long something is going to last. As I mentioned earlier, she's been talking on the phone from 6 until 7. So there it shows the time duration of the phone call. So there also it's again another preposition which is used to describe the action or the time period of the action. And the final preposition which comes under the time is by, in the sense of at the latest. So if you need to talk about something that's latest or something nearby, you use this preposition by, even to mark up to a certain time. So I will be back by 6 o'clock. So I'll be back by 6 o'clock. There you have used this preposition by to indicate that it's at the latest, like I'll be back within another few minutes. So I'll be back by 6. And the next example is to mark about a certain time, which is by 11 o'clock. I had read 5 pages. So by a certain time, so you use by to denote a certain time. So by this certain time, you have finished a particular act. So that also denotes the time. The second important topic is prepositions of place. So here we'll be discussing what are the prepositions that are used to indicate the place or the location of a sentence. Number 1, in. In is usually used when referring to something that is inside or within a confined boundary. For example, you can say in the kitchen, in London, in the book, in the picture, in the world. So with all these examples, I hope that it's clear. We use in to talk about something that is inside. The second important preposition of place is at. At is used to refer to something at a specific point. For example, it means like next to by an object, at the door, at the station, or even for table, you can say at the table. I met my friends at the table. Or even for events, you can say at a concert, at a party, place where you are to do something. Something like you're going to study or watch a film. So you can say at the cinema. Let's meet at school or let's meet at the cinema. The next important preposition of place is on. On is used when referring to something with a surface. If something is like attached, you can say the picture on the wall. The next example for on is for a place which is with a river. London lies on the Thames. So being on a surface like on the table, on the chair, on the bed, even when we are using to refer a particular certain side, it can be the right or the left, you say on. You don't say in the right or on the right, in the left, you say it's on the right, on the left. And if you're going to refer to a particular floor in the house, you say on the first floor, on the second floor. You don't say in the first floor, you say on the first floor, on the second floor. So even for the public transport, I travel on the bus. You don't say I travel in the bus, you say on the bus, on a plane. And for television and radio, you can say I watched news on TV, not in TV, because you don't refer something, it's inside, but it should be something which is referred to on a surface. Therefore, it's on TV and on radio. The next important preposition which comes by, next to, and beside. So if someone's next to you or someone referring who's beside you, you use these words like left or right if someone or something is being referred, especially. So once again, let's remind we're talking about prepositions of place here. Therefore, to refer to a particular thing or a person by location. You can say Jane is standing next to the car. Or you can say the car is parked beside the house. So therefore we know that where Jane was standing and where the car was parked because it shows the location using the word by and next to. Right, the next important preposition is under, on the ground, lower than, or like something if you're going to describe a particular object, a person, which is under or below the surface. You say, you use this word under. It's like the bag is under the table. So if you find something under the surface, you say it's under the chair and under the table. Beyond that, we have one more preposition which comes with the same meaning. It's below. Lower than something else but above ground. So if something is under, lower than some particular thing but it is above the ground level, then you can use the word below. Now don't get confused with under and below. Under is used on the ground which is lower than, or it should be lower than something else. So that's why it's like the bag is under the table. So the table is above the bag. Right, so below shows it's lower than something else but above the ground. For example, the fish are below the surface. Right, so the fish are below the surface. The next important preposition is over. Over is like the first use of it is covered by something else. So if you're covered with something else, there also it shows the preposition of time, preposition of place. Put a jacket over your shirt. So you have to wear the jacket over your shirt, means it's on the top of, right? So it gives the same meaning like on the top of. The second meaning is meaning more than. So over 16 years of age, over 16 years of age, like you say over 16, over 12, especially these are used in terms of athletics and sports, like you say the age groups, or even in certain competitions you use over 16, over 12, over 14. So even in the above preposition you say under 15, under 16, right? The next one is getting to the other side. So if you need to get to another side, you use a particular preposition of place, and that is also over. Walk over the bridge. So it's from a particular place to another certain particular place. So you have to say like use a preposition of a place called over. Walk over the bridge. So the next important one again is above. So it's like higher than something else. So if you need to indicate something that is higher than something or someone, you can say use a preposition of place, and that is above. The birds are flying above the sky. Or you can say the birds flew above the house. So it denotes that the birds have flown above the house. So it's the next one is across. Across gives the meaning like you get through something, right? There should be like over something. Okay, so that's like walk across the bridge or swim across the lake. So you go through something, right? The next preposition of place is through. Something with limits on top, bottom and the sides. So you have limits and it is almost through a surface which is covered by the top, the bottom and also the two sides. So for example, you can say drive through the tunnel. So if it's a closed area and if you to go inside that, you can say drive through the highway bridge. So then you know that it's somewhat closed from the top, bottom and the two sides also. The next important preposition is to. So it's like when you get the movement from a person or a building, you can say like go to the cinema, go to the library, or you can say go to the kitchen, go to bed, right? So these are the places where you use to. Next one is into. When you are walking or going to a particular place which is somewhere, it's like a covered place like a building or a room. So go into the kitchen, go into the house. So use into when you're going inside something, somewhere, right? So to is a movement of a person or a place, movement towards a person or a place, like go to the cinema, go to London, go to bed. But go into describes you enter into a closed area, like go into the kitchen or go into the house. The next important preposition of place is towards. So it's the movement of the direction into something. It's not directly, but it's like towards, show that it is somewhat indirectly connected. Go 5 steps towards the house. So that example is it's clear to show that it's not directly, but it shows that your path could be directed to the certain destination, but you have to go 5 steps towards, right? It's the movement in the direction of something, but not directly towards it, right? But it's not directly to it. Okay, the next important one is onto. The movement of the top of something. Jump onto the table. So it's like you give this, or you say you use these prepositions for something which is on a top surface, and if you need to get them to the ground level, you use like jump onto the table, jump onto the ground. So you use this word onto. Last but not the least, the important preposition of place is from. From, it's like where from. It's again the place, right? It's not the person, it requires a location. From where did you pluck the flower? I plucked it from the garden. So there it refers to the location. Well, now it's quite clear that you have gained a vast range of knowledge as well an idea regarding what a preposition of time is and also what a preposition of place is. With a lot of examples we came up to discuss with you, and we explained to you how each and every preposition is used in a sentence and what are the different kind of situations we can use them. Well, now we have come with our final topic, and that is other important prepositions. So these prepositions might be repeated. You might have come across these same prepositions inside prepositions of place, prepositions of time too. But these prepositions show something more different. So let us discuss one by one and see what it means. Number one, from. So you normally use from. Earlier we used it like to talk about something which is you received from someone. But here it says like a book from Jane, right? So you get a book from Jane. So if someone asks like, uh, from whom did you get it? It's like from Jane. So it's a person. Earlier we mentioned a place. Like from where did you come? I came from England. That is where you talk about preposition of place. But here this preposition from takes another usage. So it's of. The next one is of. So the picture of a palace. So what does this picture show? This picture shows, or you can say this is a picture of a palace, right? And then we have by. So you can normally use to describe the author of the book, a book by James, right? And on. So you might have come across with this same example in prepositions of place as well as preposition of time. But here, on is also used to talk like on foot, on cycle. How do you travel to school? I travel to school on foot, right? So like by that means like you're walking to school. So the next important preposition is in. Get in the car. So there also it's like a bit similar to a particular object, but earlier we discussed it under a particular location as well as a time. So here in shows you have to get into a particular place, like a particular object, right? So get into the car, please get into the car. The next one is off. Get off the train. So that means like you have to get down, that's coming out of the train. The next one is also similar to off, that is out of. Get out of the taxi, and this is get off. Get off is also to come out from a particular vehicle, but even out of is also something like that, which gives the same meaning. The next important one is by. So you can say like by car, by bus, I travel to school by car. So these probably did not come in prepositions of time or prepositions of place, but it is used to describe about an object in detail. So how do you come to school? I come to school by car or by bus. And also by is used to show a certain rising level or a decreasing level. So prices have risen by 10%. So you can talk about the interest rates or the inflation rates. You can say that they've been raised up. That means it's increased. And you can say the interest rates have been decreased by 5%. So those fluctuations can also be shown by using this preposition by. Another common one which you have come across, prepositions of time and prepositions of place also. But this is an important preposition, that is at. And this is used to talk about the age, right? It's to talk about a person's age. She learned Russian at 45. So that means she has learned Russian in the year of or in the age of 45. And about reasoning on something, like you came across this within prepositions of time as well as prepositions of place, but here it gives out a separate meaning, which means we were talking about your reasoning out. Excuse me, what are you talking about? Oh, hi, we were talking about you. So it's reasoning out and defining about the reason what they were talking, right? So there you use this preposition about. So I hope now not only prepositions of place and time, you have also got a clear idea regarding the other important prepositions in English language. Apart from these, don't forget there are a lot of prepositions which will get connected with verbs, with adjectives, with nouns. So throughout our future videos, we hope to come up with those lessons too. Well, now we've come towards the end of our lesson today. So if you watched the video from the start, You would have remembered that we started describing or giving the definition for what a preposition is. And later on, we said that we will be discussing three important topics under prepositions, that is, prepositions of time. And these prepositions are most related with time factors like minutes, hours, even seconds, weeks, months, years. So we came up with a lot of examples explaining you with different examples also, and we defined them where to use inside a sentence. And the next important topic is prepositions of place. So you saw that those prepositions were more relatedly connected with locations, places. It could be a country, a place, a city, or a particular object too. So the next important topic which we discussed was the other important prepositions. They might be repeated in prepositions of time as well as preposition of place, but they did function separately with some other specific roles under this topic. So therefore, if you miss any of this, watch it again and learn it. So let's meet throughout our next session. Until then, if you've not yet subscribed our YouTube channel, please click on the subscribe button and don't forget to ring on the bell icon so that you won't miss any of the notification with our latest videos. So then, goodbye.